Good morning and welcome to our week 27 of breathing techniques, but also I'm putting in a bit about our 8 limbs of yoga. So this is about the second limb of yoga, niyamas, or positive duties, and they tend to be towards ourselves. So the first one is cleanliness. And this is to do with sort of at home and our clothes, our mat, our diet. So sort of when you're coming, if you can keep your place nice and clean, then it helps you feel a little bit better. So if you sort of sort out your wardrobe and you get rid of all the old clothes and you see your wardrobe all nice and clean, it makes you feel better. Also thinking about our mats, making sure that our mat is clean when we go to yoga, that our clothes are clean, that our skin's clean, that our mind is clean. And our mind, keeping our mind clean is sort of like not looking at other people as they're doing yoga and being horrible and nasty about them, even in our mind, as well as then talking to other people in the class about them. But it's about keeping, the cleaner we feel in ourselves, the better we feel. The second limb of the yamas, of the positive images, is contentment, and that's being content with where you are now, with what you've got now. Not worrying and not thinking, oh, well, if I get a new car, I'll feel better. If I change my job and get paid better, I'll feel better. If I get my lips all puckered up, I'll feel better. But most of the time, we don't. And it's the same with when you're bringing it to yoga as well. Trying to push yourself into a position just because everybody else in the class can do it is not going to make you better. It may, in fact, hurt you. So it's always best to be content with how you are now, what you've got now. That doesn't mean staying where you are, just being content with what you've got and not wanting what other people have, what more of such and such. So that's the second part of the niyamas. The third one is burning enthusiasm. And this is an enthusiasm for everything you do. So even though you're doing yoga, you might not feel like, oh, I'm a bit weary today, but get in there and go, yes, I'm coming, I'm going to get on my mat, I'm going to do my best. Then that's your burning enthusiasm. And again, you can take that off and mundane things like cleaning the bathroom, but put your music on and really enjoy knowing that once you've cleaned it, how the accomplishment you'll feel. Again, everything we feel is usually for about 30 seconds. But at least for that 30 seconds, we think, yes, until somebody comes in and uses the bathroom and leaves a nice scum mark. But for that 30 seconds, that burning enthusiasm to make it nice, so that sometimes, occasionally, your family walk in and go, oh, this looks nice, you've done a really good job, and they tell you it's nice. But even if they don't, have that burning enthusiasm for yourself, for everything you do. So it can be for your work, it can be for your relaxation, it can be for anything, but just have a burning enthusiasm. The fourth one is self-study and self-reflection. And this is just sort of, again, thinking about how your postures are on your mat, how you're breathing, how if there's any tension, if there any, what your thoughts are doing, as well as when you're off the mat. So how you're sitting, am I slumping in my chair? Can I sit myself up? Is my breathing better? Can I work my breathing so that it works better for me? And that I'm breathing properly and fully into all the lungs and making sure everything works. So self-study about yourself and also self-reflection, but also studying everything and anything. So I'm yoga, love my yoga. So I tend to read loads and every single book that comes out, any article to do with yoga, I will read it. Because I'm always looking and searching and making sure that I'm up to date on all my information. Again, with anything to do with exercise, any physical things, anything to do with the human body. As you've seen, I've pulled out my human body books occasionally because I love the human body. I love what it can do and how amazing we are. There's scientists all over the world trying to create this, not necessarily just me, but all of us trying to create us. And they can't, because we are amazing. Every single one, no matter who you are, where you are, what you do, you are amazing. You get up every day and you breathe and you move and you walk and the things that we do, the creativity in our mind that we've put out there, the computers, phones, chairs, everything was created from us. We created these kind of things, but yet what created us must have been amazing as well. Which leads us on to our fifth one, which is our surrender to a higher being or to a higher power, to a higher spirit, to a higher goal. And it's all to do with knowing that we are, like I said in the last one, we are amazing. Whatever created us was amazing. We know how, the idea of coming up with a computer and a computer chip beyond my imagination, to come up with a human that does everything, to come up with the earth that we've got, the animals, that we work in conjunction with the trees and the water because they give us give us oxygen, we give them carbon dioxide. So we work in conjunction together. And everything, the food that we grow, that we eat, the medicine. And I know pharmaceuticals say that homeopathic and all, these medicines that are made from flowers and plants aren't real. But every medicine comes from a plant. My mum used to take Premarin, a HRT, which is made from the urine of pregnant horses. Who come up with that? That was possibly an old wives' tale from back in the day that somebody used to stop his hot flushes. But yet they bring it. So every pharmaceutical has its basis in homeopathy. It comes from the world, from the earth. They all come from there. So whatever ails us, the world obviously produces it to cure us. So whatever created that, we kind of got to surrender and understand that something created us. It doesn't matter. And yoga never tells you who to believe in, how to believe in, what to do. It's just offering you these wheels, the limbs of yoga, just offer you an idea of how to live your life. But it doesn't say if you don't do it, you're not going to a special place. It doesn't say that. It's how you feel in yourself. So the need to surrender, and again, not just to a higher being, but also surrender to yourself. So again, sometimes we come to class and we'll go to, say my Monday class is a very fast class. It's moving and flowing, but that might not be the class that you need at that time. The class that you might need might be a more restorative, a bit slow, a bit lower. So maybe the restorative yoga on a Friday night, or an adapted yoga where you can kind of take it a little bit easy because you've hurt your back, because you've hurt your shoulder. You might not be ready to do a fast class. So it's being able to surrender to that rest and know, okay, I can't do this at this moment. I need to just rest, and being able to rest. And that is another kind of surrender. So there are our positive duties towards ourselves, our niyamas. So now I'm going to bring us on to our breathing technique. And this one is a breath against the flow. So similar to our filling of the jug, where we fill the air from the bottom of the lungs, hold it for 3 seconds, fill the middle of the lungs, hold it for 3 seconds, fill the top of the lungs, hold it for 3 seconds, breathe out. It's similar to that, but it's the opposite way round. And now this is the time where we're holding air out of the body, and it can be quite scary. So anytime you need to breathe in, and we're going to do one, and then we're going to have a couple of rescue breaths, couple of breathing, then we'll do another 2, and then we'll have another couple of rescue breaths, and then we'll do 3, and then we'll have a rescue breath, okay? So we'll go up to 3 times that we're doing it, but working up to 3. But you'll feel that it is, you may feel a bit tense as you've got no air in the body. You want to grip your teeth together. Try to let everything relax. Anytime you need to, you can breathe in, or you can breathe out and then breathe in. Whatever you want to do, as long as it makes you feel okay, but never feel stressed or pushed or that you have to. Just let's see how your body reacts. So, we're making sure that we're nice and straight. We can sit down, we can lie down with this as well. It doesn't really matter. We're going to breathe in first and hold it. We're going to breathe out a little bit from the lower part of the stomach and hold. We're going to breathe from here, but we're going to try and keep our breastbone quite lifted. We're going to release from the top here. Now we're going to let everything go and let the breastbone drop as well. Okay? So again, you can take a few rescue breaths. That wasn't our first, that was just me explaining. So we're going to do our one, where I'm not talking, but we're going to try and keep the breastbone lifted, everything lifted until the last bit, and then we let everything just drop and go out. So here we go, and I'll do it with my fingers and I'll work my hands in the right place. So we're going to breathe in. Couple of rescue breaths. Here we go again. Couple of rescue breaths. We're going to try and do 3 now. 3 rounds. Here we go. And a couple of rescue breaths. And again, with these, they start to work the lungs. They're nice. The same way that we do weights on our arms, the exercises for our breathing help to improve our lung capacity. But also, again, while you're doing that, what you should have noticed is that the brain goes still and it starts to wander because we're focusing on the breathing. But the thing that happens in between that time when we hold our breath, that's when all the amazing stuff in the body happens. Now, if you were to just catch yourself, notice yourself, when you're breathing normally, try not to change it. You may notice that you do naturally hold your breath in between breathing in and breathing out. You always do. And And it's at these times that the most amazing things happen in the body. And so I've showed you on my book before about the movements. Let me just find it. Where's my blood? So my oxygen thing. As the air comes in, you get all the oxygen, all the good stuff going out into the blood vessels and all the rubbish stuff coming back into the lungs so that we can blow it out and it goes round in a circle. And this happens with every heartbeat, with every breath. But if you're holding that time, then it gives everything a little bit longer just to move out. So all the good stuff to come into the body and all the bad stuff to get dragged out of the body. And that's a great idea about holding it. But like I said, the main thing is that it stops the mind from having a wonder. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you hopefully if you're going to come to my classes tonight for the relaxation. Otherwise, I'll see you probably next week. So, hi everybody.